On the day we were supposed to sign the marriage papers, Chloe's, one who got away, Julian, had a depressive episode. She dumped me, holding her bouquet, and bolted for the airport. He needs me, she said. We'll sign another day. I tossed the flowers into the trash can and posted a photo to Instagram. Wedding off. The bride had a prior engagement. No congratulations necessary. Liam Cole stood in the lobby of City Hall, the bouquet of red roses in his hand, feeling increasingly ridiculous. It was 9:58 a.m. He glanced at his watch, watching the second hand tick forward beat by beat. The glass doors pushed open, ushering in a gust of hot air. Chloe Vance clicked in on her high heels, makeup exquisite, but her eyes were darting around, unfocused. Traffic was a nightmare, she explained, not even looking at the flowers in Liam's hand. Liam held them out to her. Just as Chloe took them, her phone rang. The ringtone was an old classic rock ballad. Liam remembered it well. It was the song Julian used to play on loop back in the day. Chloe's face changed instantly. She slid her finger across the screen, her voice dropping to a hush. Hello? Julian? You. Don't panic, speak slowly. Liam leaned back against the cold metal chair, watching her. Chloe's brow furrowed deeper and deeper, her fingers unconsciously twisting the strap of her purse. A depressive episode? How are you now? The airport? Okay, I'm coming right now. Wait for me. Chloe snapped her head up, speaking in a rush, her voice laced with an urgency Liam had never heard directed at him. Liam, Julian, things are really bad. I have to go to the airport. He just got back from overseas alone, and his depression is acting up. He can't be by himself. The license. Let's do it another day. She was rambling, her eyes not even landing on Liam, fixed instead on the exit. Her body was already turned, poised to sprint. Liam didn't move. His expression remained unreadable. Another day. City Hall is open today. We both took the day off. Both our parents are waiting at the restaurant for the celebratory toast. If his depression is acting up, go check on him fine. But sign the papers with me first. Will a 10-minute delay kill him? Chloe looked as if she'd been slapped. She finally looked him in the eye, her expression shifting to impatience and grievance. Liam, how can you be so cold-blooded? This is a matter of life and death. Julian is fragile right now. He needs me. It's just a piece of paper. What's the difference between today and tomorrow? Do you have to be so petty right now? She didn't wait for Liam's answer. Or rather, she didn't need it. She shoved the red roses back into Liam's chest as if discarding a hot potato. You hold these. I'll come back as soon as I handle this. With that, she turned, her heels clacking against the polished tiles, clack, 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 running toward the door. She pushed through the glass and rushed into the blinding sunlight without looking back once. The roses still carried the warmth of Chloe's fingertips and the scent of her perfume. Liam looked down at them. The petals were a vibrant, bleeding red. He pulled the corner of his mouth, but there was no smile. He walked a few steps to the large stainless steel trash can. The lid was open, the inside was clean. He relaxed his grip. The expensive bouquet of red roses traced an arc through the air and landed precisely at the bottom of the bin. Liam pulled out his phone, aimed it at the flowers in the trash, and took a photo. The lighting and angle were perfect. The stinging red against the cold metal bin created a stark contrast. He opened Instagram, selected the photo, and typed a caption, wedding off. The bride had a prior engagement. No congratulations necessary. Post. He put his phone away and looked up. Through the massive floor-to-ceiling windows, he saw a familiar black Porsche Cayenne screech to a halt at the curb. The driver's door opened, and a man in a casual suit stepped out, tall and upright. It was Julian Pierce. He walked around to the passenger side and gallantly opened the door for the rushing Chloe. Chloe practically threw herself into the car. Julian closed the door, and from that distance, his gaze seemed to sweep toward the City Hall lobby. The corner of his mouth hooked up in a blurred, smug arc before he got back into the driver's seat. The engine roared, and the car merged into traffic, leaving nothing but dust. The lobby was quiet. The small commotion had settled, but Liam could feel the gazes sticking to his back. Faint, but there. Curious, sympathetic, amused. He stood straight as a javelin, his face still rippling with nothing. He adjusted his shirt cuffs, his movements meticulous. Then he stepped forward, walking unhurriedly toward the exit. The glass doors slid open automatically, and the September sun dumped a bucket of heat over his head. It burned. Liam had just reached the entrance when the glass doors slid open again. Chloe had actually doubled back. She ran up, slightly breathless, cheeks flushed, her eyes holding the frantic look of someone backed into a corner. Liam! she shouted, her voice shrill. What is the meaning of that Instagram post? Did you have to let the whole world know? My mom is already calling me. Liam stopped and turned, looking at her calmly. Just stating facts. What? My fiancé ran off with another man on the day we were getting our marriage license, and I'm supposed to bang a drum and celebrate? You, Chloe choked, the breath stuck in her chest. I told you Julian's situation is special. He's having an episode. It's dangerous. Can't you have a little compassion? A little understanding? Understanding? Liam repeated the word as if he'd heard a joke. The corner of his mouth pulled into a faint, icy curve. Chloe, I understand you care about your friend. But my understanding stopped at the doors of City Hall. He raised a hand and pointed to the massive glass doors behind him, emblazoned with the official seal. Now, you can walk out that door and go find your Julian. That's fine. He paused, his gaze pinning Chloe in place, his voice not loud, but every word clear, carrying an undeniable hardness. But once you walk out that door, don't come back looking for me. I am Liam Kola. I don't graze in old pastures, and I certainly don't recycle trash that others have thrown away. Chloe's face turned white at the last sentence. Her lips trembled, wanting to speak, but her phone rang again like a death knell, that same classic rock ballad. She glanced at the screen, her eyes instantly captured by the caller ID. The hesitation and struggle vanished without a trace. She glared at Liam one last time, as if to carve his cold demeanor in her memory, then spun around and sprinted back toward the waiting Kian. Liam stood his ground, unmoving. He watched Chloe open the car door and slide in. He watched Julian flash a victor smile at him through the car window. He watched the black car arrogantly merge into traffic and disappear. TCH. He allowed a soft scoff. The lobby fell completely silent. The aftershocks of the farce still vibrated in the air. Several clerks and couples waiting for their paperwork cast glances at him, some covert, some open. Sympathy, curiosity, scrutiny, and a trace of the excitement that comes from watching a train wreck. Liam had become the sole actor on this stage of romance, or rather comedy. His face remained expressionless, but he felt the air conditioning was cranked too high. The cold seeped into his bones. He raised a hand and rubbed his face hard, trying to suppress the inexplicable irritability rising within him. Sir, a gentle female voice sounded beside him. Liam dropped his hand and turned. A woman wearing the City Hall clerk uniform stood next to him. She held a small pack of tissues, offering it to him. Her name tag read, Sarah Zane. She looked to be in her late 20s, with delicate features and clean eyes that held professional concern, but nothing overly intimate. Do you need help? Or do you need a tissue? Liam didn't take the tissues. His gaze lingered on her face for a second. This face, it looked familiar. He couldn't recall where he'd seen her. He pulled the corner of his mouth into a self-mocking smile. Help, he repeated, his eyes sweeping over the empty lobby and the lingering stairs, finally landing back on Sarah's face. His tone was flat, as if stating a fact that had nothing to do with him. City Hall is great. Every day you witness love, and you witness jokes. Just bad luck today. It was my turn to be the punchline. Sarah's hand paused in midair. She saw the coldness and self-deprecation he was trying so hard to suppress deep in his eyes. She didn't insist on the tissues. She just nodded gently, offering no useless platitudes. Liam didn't look at her again, nor did he look back at the hall that had witnessed his humiliation. He turned his back straight, pushed open the heavy glass door, and walked out into the noisy, blinding sunshine. The heat wave hit him in the face, instantly dispelling the chill in his bones, but it couldn't melt the heavy stone in his chest, named abandonment. The phone in his pocket buzzed, like an epileptic cricket. Liam had just gotten into the driver's seat of his black Mercedes G-Wagon, the engine not yet started. He pulled it out. The screen was packed with a barrage of text messages and missed call notifications. The pinned Vance Family and Friends group chat had already exploded, with 99+ messages. Chloe's mom, Linda Vance at Liam Cole. What kind of post is that? Delete it immediately. What does this look like? Chloe's cousin. Yeah, Liam, it's not a big deal. Chloe said she wanted to save someone. Men need to be more generous. Chloe's bestie, Liam, is this necessary? Posting that just to embarrass Chloe? She was just worried about a friend. Chloe's brother, Tyler Vance Cole. What's your problem? Trying to make my sister look bad on purpose? Delete it and apologize right now. The messages were still scrolling frantically, mixed with private inquiries and condolences from a few close friends. Liam swiped the screen with a blank expression, his fingertips cold. He tapped open the private chat with Linda Vance. Sure enough, 3 missed calls. He clicked the latest voice message. Linda's signature voice, laced with a commanding tone. rushed out. Liam, you delete that post for me right now. Do you hear me? Chloe went to do something important. Saving a life. You're a grown man. Why are you so petty? How will relatives and friends look at our family if you post stuff like that? How will they look at Chloe? Delete it. Then post a statement saying it was a misunderstanding. Hurry up. After the voice note ended, the car was dead silent. Only the light from the phone screen illuminated Liam's expressionless face. His fingers moved. He didn't reply, nor did he delete the post. He long pressed the Vance family and friends group and decisively selected delete and leave. The world instantly quieted by half. Next, he opened his contacts, found Linda Vance, Tyler Vance, and the names of the relatives jumping around most vigorously in the group. One by one, he swiped and blocked. The movements were fluid, without a hint of hesitation. Once that was done, he tossed the phone onto the passenger seat like a piece of burning trash. He started the car, the engine's low rumble filling the quiet garage. The phone buzzed again, the screen lighting up. It was a text from Linda Vance using a different number, her tone even more urgent. Liam, you blocked me? Have you lost your mind? Call me back right now. Delete the post, or this isn't over. Liam glanced at it and scoffed. He picked up the phone, tapped a few times, and replied with a single sentence. I didn't delete a post. I removed your fig leaf. Send. Then, he dragged this new number into the blacklist as well. He slammed on the gas, and the G-Wagon roared out of the underground garage, merging into the busy midday traffic. The sun was blinding. He put on his sunglasses, cutting off the outside light and the annoying noise. Intense rock music blasted inside the car, the drums pounding against his eardrums, trying to drive away the cold anger in his heart. He needed to go back to the place once called home, which was now about to be thoroughly purged. The fingerprint lock beeped and the door opened. The apartment still held the lingering scent of the perfume Chloe used, sweet and cloying. He used to think it smelled nice. Now it just felt pungent. 2 pairs of her high heels were still in the entryway. One red stiletto, one silver sequined. He had bought them both. Liam ripped off his tie and threw it on the sofa. He didn't turn on the lights, walking straight to the bedroom. In a massive walk-in closet, the half that belonged to Chloe was stuffed full. Dresses, coats, bags, shoes. A dazzling array, most with tags still on. He pulled open the cabinet doors, staring at these expensive trophies with cold eyes. He turned to the utility room and dragged out several extra-large moving boxes. Returning to the closet, without a shred of sentimentality, he began stuffing the clothes, shoes, and bags into the boxes like he was clearing out a warehouse. His movements were rough, carrying a venting aggression. Silk dresses were balling up. Limited edition bags were crushed under other items. He didn't care. One box full, taped shut. He dragged over another empty one and continued. The expensive skincare bottles and cosmetics on the vanity. He didn't even look at them, sweeping them all into an empty shopping bag, then tossing the whole bag into a box. Sweat slid down his temples. He wiped it off and kept working. The closet was soon half empty. 4 sealed large cardboard boxes and a stuffed shopping bag sat on the floor. He straightened up, glancing around the much emptier room, then walked to the desk to find a pen for labels. The drawer held some random odds and ends. He rummaged through it. His fingers touched something hard and square. He pulled it out, an old Polaroid camera, pink shell, worn at the edges. Liam frowned. He didn't remember Chloe having this thing. He instinctively pressed the power button. No reaction. Probably out of battery. He moved to toss it into the trash box nearby, but his hand froze. There seemed to be something stuck to the back of the camera. He flipped it over. A small Polaroid photo was taped to the back. The colors were slightly faded, but the image was clear, background featuring a landmark in a foreign city. Chloe and a man were hugging tightly, smiling brilliantly. That man was Julian Pierce. Chloe was wearing a limited edition t-shirt Julian had given her years ago. Liam's gaze fell to the bottom of the photo, where a line of text was written in black marker. The handwriting was Julian's, flamboyant and confident. Wait for me. G. The date was clearly written, 6 months ago. At that time, he and Chloe were already planning the wedding. The air seemed to solidify. Liam pinched the small photo, his fingertips turning white from the pressure. The hard edge of the photo dug into his skin, bringing a sharp pain. He stared at Chloe's unreserved smile as she leaned into Julian's arms, stared at the words, wait for me. His heart felt like it was gripped by a cold hand, then dragged down into a bottomless, freezing pool. So that was it. All the excuses, all the just friends, all the he needs me. In this moment, they all found their most explicit, ironic footnote. He pulled at the corner of his mouth, wanting to laugh, but tasted only bitterness. He looked down at the photo, his voice low and hoarse in the empty room. carrying a bone-chilling coldness. Heh, so the one she was waiting for wasn't me. It was her freedom. He took out his own phone and snapped a clear digital copy of the Polaroid. Then, pinching the physical photo, he walked to the window and pushed it open. Downstairs, not far away, sat a green clothing donation bin. He swung his arm, and the photo, carrying the weight of betrayal and waiting, traced a small arc, falling precisely into the donation slot. Done. He returned to the large boxes, found sticky notes and a pen. He tore off several sheets, writing 3 words on each: old closed donation. Slap, slap, slap. He stuck them forcefully onto every box and a shopping bag. He took out his phone and dialed a familiar number. Manager Wilson, send 2 guys to my place. I'll send the address. I have a few large boxes. Help me run them to the nearest donation center. Yes, now. Thanks. Hanging up, he threw the phone back onto the table with a dull thud. He walked to the living room, poured a glass of ice water, and downed it. The freezing liquid slid down his throat, but it couldn't extinguish the fire burning brighter in his chest. He looked at the boxes labeled donation, his eyes sharp as knives. The doorbell rang urgently and loudly, like a death warrant. Liam had just finished a shower, drying his hair as he walked out of the bathroom. He went to the door and looked through the peephole. 2 people stood outside. Linda Vance, his former almost mother-in-law, wearing an expensive silk suit, a forced smile plastered on her face that couldn't hide the anxiety and dissatisfaction in her eyes. Beside her stood Chloe, head down, eyes red and swollen as if she'd been crying hard. She was still wearing the clothes from yesterday, looking haggard. Liam opened the door with a blank expression. "Oh, Liam, you're home." Linda immediately squeezed out an exaggerated smile, her voice pitched high to manufacture warmth, while her body practically shoved its way inside. "Look at you, not answering calls or texts. You had me worried sick." Chloe followed behind, looking up timidly at Liam. Meeting his temperature-less eyes, she quickly looked down again, fingers twisting the hem of her shirt. Liam didn't step aside. His tall frame blocked the entrance like a wall. His gaze swept over the mother and daughter. "Something you need?" Linda choked on his attitude. The smile faltered, but she propped it up. "Liam, look at you, still angry at Chloe? Yesterday was Chloe's fault. She was too impulsive. She's young and doesn't think things through. I've already scolded her properly." She yanked Chloe's arm. "Quick, Chloe, apologize to Liam. Say you were wrong." Chloe stumbled from the pole, lifted her head, and looked at Liam with watery eyes. Her voice was thick with nasal tones, full of grievance. "Liam, I'm sorry. Yesterday I was just so panicked. Julian's depression was severe. I was afraid something would happen to him. I didn't mean to leave you. Will you forgive me? Let's continue with the wedding, okay?" Tears fell as she spoke, painting a picture of helpless necessity. Liam looked at her tear-stained face, listening to her heartfelt apology and the proposal to continue the wedding. He felt only a wave of absurd nausea. He pulled a smile, cold and mocking. "Forgive," he repeated slowly, his gaze acting like a spotlight on Chloe. From her red eyes, down to her seemingly ordinary t-shirt, and finally, stopping on her feet, white sneakers bearing a classic luxury logo. "Chloe, yesterday, you went to save a life, right?" Chloe felt a chill at his stare and instinctively nodded. Yes. "Oh," Liam nodded as if accepting the explanation. Then, methodically, he pulled his phone from his sweatpants pocket, unlocked it, tapped a few times, and turned the screen toward Chloe and Linda. On the screen sat the digital copy of the Polaroid he had taken. Chloe and Julian hugging tightly in a foreign land, smiling brilliantly. At the bottom, Julian's handwriting, "Wait for me," was crystal clear. The blood drained from Chloe's face, leaving it pale as paper. Her lips trembled, unable to form a word. Linda saw the photo too. Her pupils constricted violently. She screeched, "Liam, what is the meaning of this? What does an old photo prove? Chloe and Julian are in the past. What's wrong with a hug between friends? Why are you so petty?" Liam ignored Linda's shrieking. His gaze remained locked on Chloe's pale face. He swiped his finger across the screen. The next photo popped up. It was the one he took through the glass window at City Hall yesterday. Chloe running toward Julian's Porsche. The white luxury sneakers on her feet were blindingly bright in the sun, matching perfectly with the identical men's pair on Julian's feet. A hug is the past. Liam's voice wasn't loud, but it was like a blade dipped in ice, each word smashing clearly into the quiet hallway. "Then what about these shoes? The ones on Julian's feet and the ones on yours. Those are a couple set, right? Global limited edition, not even released in the US yet. Did he give them to you? Or did you agree to buy them together?" He took a step forward. The intense pressure forced both Chloe and Linda to instinctively step back. Liam stared at the white sneakers that had nowhere to hide. The corner of his mouth hooked into a curve of ultimate ridicule. His voice suddenly rose, laced with undisguised mockery. Chloe, you wore a couple shoes with Julian to run to the airport and save him. You saved him with such mutual affection. Such telepathy. What was the next step? Did you need to perform mouth-to-mouth resuscitation to consider the person fully saved? You're talking nonsense. Chloe broke down under his naked interrogation and sarcasm. She screamed, tears pouring out. I didn't. You're spitting blood. I just what? Liam cut her off, his eyes sharp as a falcon's. Just couldn't forget old feelings? Just felt that since he's back, I, the spare tire, should have the sense to roll away. Chloe, what do you take me for? A fool you can summon and dismiss at will. He snapped his phone back. His gaze swept coldly over the mother and daughter, who were now pale and speechless. His voice was ironclad. Take your cheap tears and excuses and get out of my house. The wedding? Maybe in your next life. With that, he didn't spare them another glance. He stepped back and slammed the security door shut. Bang! The massive sound of metal hitting the frame echoed in the hallway, shaking the heart and completely cutting off the shocked, humiliated faces outside. The crying and banging continued for a while like annoying background noise. Liam turned a deaf ear, walking straight to the living room sofa to sit down. He picked up his phone and called his parents' house. The call connected instantly. His mother's gentle voice came through. Hello, Liam. Mom, Liam said, his voice flat. I just kicked Chloe and her mother out. Silence on the other end for 2 seconds. Then his mother replied, calm as ever. Okay, understood. The faint sound of the news on TV played in the background. They might come to find you and Dad, Liam added. Don't worry. His mother's voice held the calmness of someone who had seen it all. Your dad is watching the financial news. I'm making tea. If they come, we have plenty of tea. Liam smirked slightly. Okay. He hung up, sinking into the soft sofa, exhaling a long breath of turbid air. The anger of betrayal, the humiliation of public abandonment, and the cold hardness of the confrontation all settled into a heavy exhaustion. He closed his eyes and rubbed his throbbing temples. The phone buzzed again. A text. He opened it. It was a private message from his father, Mr. Cole. Concise. Understood. Don't need to make calls regarding the company. Liam replied. No need, Dad. I'll handle it. Mr. Cole replied with a single word. Good. Liam put down the phone and stared at the ceiling. He knew his parents' attitude was a solid bedrock. They wouldn't scream or emotionally blackmail like the Vance family. They would simply tell him in the quietest way, home is here, and we support your decision. As expected, the next afternoon, Liam was processing files in his office when the intercom rang. Assistant Claire sounded hesitant. Mr. Cole, reception says Miss Vance and her mother are here. They insist on seeing you. They are. A bit emotional, Liam signed the last document, capped his pen, his voice devoid of waves. Have security escort them to the conference room. Tell them I'm giving them 5 minutes. Yes, Mr. Cole. Liam stood, adjusted his suit cuffs, and walked steadily to the conference room. Pushing the door open, he saw Linda and Chloe. Linda's face was livid. Chloe's eyes were swollen like walnuts. Both looked ready to burn bridges. Liam. Linda stood up immediately, her voice shrill. What was that attitude yesterday? Our Chloe knows she was wrong. She came to beg you humbly, and you still. 5 minutes. Liam raised his hand, cutting her off, glancing at his watch. Clock starts now. Speak. His businesslike, impenetrable attitude choked Linda. The tantrum she had prepared stuck in her throat. Chloe looked up, eyes teary. Liam, I know I was wrong. I shouldn't have left you. Shouldn't have been with Julian. But our feelings after all these years. Are you really going to be this heartless? The wedding. Let's have a wedding as planned, okay? I promise. Promise what? Liam leaned against the doorframe, hands in his pockets, posture relaxed, but eyes sharp as knives. Promise that next time your Julian has a depressive episode, you won't put on the perfume he gave you, lace up your matching shoes, and dump me to go save him. Chloe turned pale. Linda panicked. Liam, do you have to fixate on one mistake? Chloe is kind-hearted. That was kindness. She couldn't bear to see a friend suffer. Is that wrong? You're a man. Can't you be more big-hearted? Why hold a grudge against a sick person? Kindness. Liam acted as if he'd heard an absurd word. He straightened up, his gaze torching Linda. His voice dropped, carrying undeniable authority. Mrs. Vance, the Cole family marries wives, not saints. And certainly not a woman who uses kindness as an excuse to treat her fiancé as a spare tire and a fool. Just as he finished, The conference room door pushed open. Mr. Cole walked in, tall, serious, carrying an aura of natural authority. He didn't even look at Linda or Chloe, walking straight to Liam's side. He looked at his son inquiringly. Liam nodded slightly. Mr. Cole then turned to the pale Linda and the teetering Chloe. His voice wasn't loud, but it carried the weight of a gavel strike. Since we've reached this point, let's be perfectly clear. The breakup was Chloe's choice. The Cole family won't stand in the way. He paused, his gaze sweeping over Chloe, cold as ice. As for that so-called breakup fee you Van Cess mentioned before, not a penny. His gaze finally landed on Linda's face, twisted in shock and anger. His tone was decisive. Also, that car sent over as a dowry gift. Have it driven back to the Cole family garage by noon tomorrow. Original condition. Keys, paperwork. Don't miss a single item. Mr. Cole finished, patted Liam's shoulder, and turned to leave without looking at them again. At the door, he paused as if remembering something. He dropped a sentence over his shoulder, quiet but slapping them harder than a hand ever could. Oh, a reminder. In the Cole family, kindness must have boundaries, and dowries must have receipts. The door clicked shut behind him. Linda and Chloe stood frozen, drained of all color and strength. Liam gave them one last look, like viewing two irrelevant strangers, then turned and left without a shred of lingering affection. The air was left with nothing but dead silence and shattered fantasies. In the internet age, there are no secrets, especially when keywords like ex-girlfriend, first love, and stood up at City Hall combine with a soap opera plot. The spread is viral. Liam's wedding off post, though hidden from most, couldn't stop mutual friends from taking screenshots. Soon, local gossip forums and Twitter threads were filled with exaggerated versions. So, Rich Air stood up on license day. Fiancée runs to first love's arms. Real-life drama. At City Hall, the bride gets into another man's luxury car. Melon of the year. Devoted groom abandoned. His post is heartbreaking. Under these threads, insiders leaked details. Liam and Chloe's identities were doxed, along with Julian's flashy Porsche and his elite Ritter knee status. Just as public opinion was painting Liam as the stoic victim, Julian's social media updated. No text, just a photo. A high-end restaurant terrace, lights twinkling. In the photo, Julian sat in profile, a gentle smile on his lips, his arm intimately around the woman beside him. The woman looked down slightly, long hair falling, revealing a refined profile and a familiar diamond earring. It was Chloe. The caption was one sentence, thick with possessiveness. Fortunately, you are still where I left you. Gee. This post was like a drop of water in hot oil. Julian's followers, mostly admirers of his looks, went wild. Julian is so romantic. Reunited. Waiting where I left you. Fairy tale love. So the City Hall thing was a misunderstanding? The real couple is slapping faces. That Liam guy is the clown, right? At Liam Colby come out and look. They are a match made in heaven. Who are you to object? Soon, people followed the trail to Liam's almost dormant, verified business account at Liam Colby. The comment section was instantly captured by ridicule and seeking truth tags. At Liam Colby, bro, you okay? Does your face hurt? Haha, dying. They hug where they started. You die of embarrassment where you started. Heard you got dumped? Thoughts? At Liam Colby, don't play dead. Julian made it official. Liam had just finished a video conference when his phone vibrated nonstop. He opened the app, seeing the smog in his comments and the frenzy around Julian's post. He opened the photo, looking at Chloe leaning into Julian like a little bird. His eyes were cold. He tapped the screen and quoted Julian's post directly. No picture, no memes, just a clean line of text. Where you left her was City Hall. She stood me up. We are not the same. Don't at me. Send. This retweet was an invisible watershed. The comments section, previously partying in mockery, went silent for a few seconds. Then, the wind changed. Holy crap. The main character responded. Brutal. Haha. Where you left her was City Hall. CEO Cole's self-roast is 10 out of 10. So, Julian's where I left you implies the City Hall entrance? That's a lot of info. At Liam Colby, bro, I get it. They hug at the start. You die inside at the start. Even trade? Skull emoji. Comment above is genius. Liam, you guys hug, I die of cringe. Even, Liam, don't touch me. Doge. Liam watched the comments quickly fill with instant social death, even trade, and don't touch me memes. The malice was diluted, replaced by a dark humor. He smirked. No joy, but the frost in his eyes melted a little. He closed the app and tossed the phone aside. Golden quote. He thought of the netizen's joke and whispered a self-deprecating comment. Fine. You hug in place? I die in place. We'll call it even. The storm of public opinion faded, but the drama of life never ends. Just as Liam cleared the last traces of Chloe from his life, trouble knocked on his door. It was Chloe calling. Her voice was teary, panicked, and humble like never before. Liam, help me. Please. Only you can help me. Liam held the phone away from his ear, voice cold. Speak. It's Tyler. My brother Tyler. Chloe sobbed, out of breath. He partnered with someone for an investment and got scammed. He signed a guarantee contract. Now, they are chasing the debt. $300,000. 300 grand. If we don't pay today, they'll break Tyler's legs and expose this online. Say the Vance family are scammers. Liam listened expressionlessly, tapping his finger on the desk. Tyler? That useless brother with eyes higher than his hands? Liam wasn't surprised. Liam's voice held no emotion. Liam, help Tyler. Just front the 300,000. Please, for the sake of our past. Chloe's voice rose, carrying a desperate madness. Otherwise I'll expose you online. Say you're cold-blooded, that you refuse to save someone dying, that you wouldn't even help your ex-brother-in-law. Let everyone see your true face. The dagger is revealed. Liam smirked, a cold smile floating in his eyes. Emotional blackmail failed, so now it's cyberbullying threats. 300 grand? Liam's voice remained steady, even amused. Chloe, do you think I run a charity bank? Or do you think my reputation is worth $300,000? Chloe choked, then became more hysterical. Liam, don't push me. I'll do it. If you don't give the money, I'll post it right now. I'll get the whole internet to curse you. Crash your stock price. Do you believe me? I believe you. Why would not? Liam said slowly. He picked up a file on his desk, speaking clearly into the phone. But before you hit send, I suggest you check your email. I just sent you something. There was the sound of fumbling on the other end, followed seconds later by a short scream. What? What is this? Change of legal representative. Liam, what does this mean? It's simple. Liam's voice was ice. The shell company your brother partnered with, where he really just signed as the guarantor, changed its legal representative 3 days ago. The new owner is Julian Pierce. He paused, enunciating clearly. So, that $300,000 debt has a clear owner. The person you should be looking for isn't me. It's your Julian. Or let your dear brother go beg his Julian and see if he's willing to cough up 300 grand for his brother-in-law. No. Impossible. You're lying. Chloe's voice collapsed into disbelief and despair. How could Julian? Why wouldn't he? Liam interrupted, mocking. Chloe, did you forget who introduced your brother to this investment? Who promised it was a sure thing? Now that it blew up, you remember your ex-brother-in-law trying to threaten me with exposure? Fine. But before you press end, I advise you to think carefully. Moral kidnapping requires leverage. You, and that waste of a brother. What do you have left to bargain with? The corporate seal. Liam stared at the small, heavy brass stamp on his desk. He had a crucial contract to sign this afternoon, but manager Wilson, who kept the safe codes and the seal, had been rushed to the hospital with acute gastroenteritis. The clock was ticking. The client representatives would arrive in less than an hour. His phone buzzed. A strange local number. Liam frowned and answered. Mr. Cole, this is Sarah Zane. The voice on the other end was gentle and clear, professional. City clerk's office. I handed you the tissues yesterday. Manager Wilson from your company just contacted us. He said you have an urgent document needing a seal/notary, but he can't be there? He gave us your address. Liam paused, then realized. That old fox Wilson. Desperate times call for desperate measures. He actually called the clerk's office for a mobile notary favor? And he got Sarah? He pinched the bridge of his nose. Yes, it's urgent. Manager Wilson gave me the safe code. I'm downstairs at your building. Is it convenient to come up? Come up. Top floor. Liam gave the details and hung up. He walked to the window. The city hall clerk who offered tissues? He recalled that calm face from yesterday. Small world. Minutes later, the intercom buzzed. Liam buzzed her in. Sarah walked in. She wasn't in uniform today. A simple beige blouse and khaki trousers, hair in a high ponytail, holding a manila envelope. Mr. Cole. She nodded slightly, placing the envelope on his massive desk. The seal is inside. Manager Wilson verified everything. Liam didn't look at the envelope. His eyes rested on her face. Up close, she was definitely familiar. His memory was excellent. Are we high school alumni? Third high. Sarah didn't seem surprised. She nodded, a faint smile appearing. Yes. Senior year, class 7. Sarah Zane. You were class 1, Liam Cole. She paused. You gave a speech under the flag about logic and choice. You roasted the dean until his face turned green. It was memorable. Liam raised an eyebrow. That was ancient history. He remembered quoting the school bylaws to dismantle a mandatory gratitude performance the dean wanted. He didn't expect anyone to remember. Seems the alumni filter is still working. Liam joked rarely, his tension easing. He opened the envelope. The seal was there, along with the contract copy. He checked the terms. Thanks. He inked the seal and stamped it with a solid thud. You're welcome. Just doing my job. Sarah watched him, calm, no curiosity. Haven't eaten yet? He asked. It was past 2 p.m. No, just finished a divorce mediation, then got Wilson's call. There's a noodle place downstairs. Not bad. Liam grabbed his jacket. My treat. As thanks. Sarah glanced at him, didn't decline. Okay. The noodle shop was in the alley behind the high-rise. Plastic chairs, greasy floors, smelling of bone broth and chili oil. A different world from the top-floor office. Boss, 2 beef noodles. 1 spicy with cilantro, 1 clear broth. Liam ordered, then looked at Sarah. Clear broth. Yeah. Sarah wiped the table with a tissue. Natural. No disdain. The noodles arrived. They ate quietly. Yesterday, Liam said, swallowing a mouthful. Thanks. For the tissue. No need. Just work. Work. Liam smirked. Watching jokes is part of the job description? No. Sarah put down her chopsticks, drinking water. She met his gaze frankly. Comfort isn't my job. Passing a tissue is basic manners. She paused. Besides, I didn't think you needed comfort. Liam raised a brow. Oh, how could you tell? Eyes. Sarah was direct. Anger, yes. Embarrassment, yes. But mostly, a kind of I see how it is just wait ruthlessness. For that kind of person, comfort is excess. A tissue is enough. Liam looked at her. That calm gaze held no pity, just a cool insight. She had pierced his emotional core accurately. This feeling was novel. Good observation, Liam noted. Occupational hazard. Sarah picked up her chopsticks. Stay at City Hall long enough, you see the essence. The ones crying loudest aren't always the saddest. The ones smiling aren't always happy. I've seen vows turn to penny pinching in divorce court. Liam didn't reply, eating his noodles. The steam rose. He looked at Sarah, stripped of a uniform, eating in this smoky shop. She had a maturity and rationality that transcended her age. No drama, no gossip, sarpinsa. A thought, different from anger or revenge, sprouted in his mind. Not a teenage crush, but an appreciation based on reason. He stirred his noodles. Maybe, he thought, you really should look at values before you look at faces. Julian crashed. He went down fast and hard, like a shiny building with a rotten foundation. The news broke on the financial front page. A photo showed Julian being escorted out of his elite capital firm by federal agents. The headline was shocking. Returnee elite fraud. Pierce Capital suspected of Ponzi scheme, money laundering. Over $100 million involved. The report detailed his crimes, targeting the elderly and middle class with fake high-return projects, broken capital chains, money laundering. And the kicker, evidence showed Julian was already married overseas, and his wife held significant assets bought with the stolen funds. Mary, the word was a bomb. The internet users who had swooned over the waiting where I left you romance were slapped in the face. Holy SHD. Married. What is Chloe? The mistress. Julian is wild. Keeping a fiancé at home and a wife abroad collecting the cash. At Chloe Vance step out? You saved a married man? Save him all the way to bed. We blamed Liam for being cold. Liam is the king of clarity. Cut his losses perfectly. Joint debt was the final straw for the Vance family. The report noted that for many of Julian's domestic shell companies, Chloe had signed as a partner or consultant. She was on the hook. Her estimated liability, 8 figures. Liam's phone blew up again. This time, not Chloe, but Linda. The voice was no longer commanding, but a desperate, crying plea. Liam, please, for the sake of the past, save Chloe, save our family. Julian, that bastard ruined her. Debt collectors are painting our door. Chloe is going crazy. I'm needing. Please, you're capable. Liam held the phone away. He walked to the floor-to-ceiling window, looking down at the bustling city. The sun was bright, the traffic flowed. The darkness of their collapse felt irrelevant here. Linda was still screaming, and he heard a thud. She actually knelt. Liam, I'm begging you. Help her. She's the one you loved. Liam looked at his reflection in the glass. His eyes were still. He spoke into the phone, voice clear and flat. Mrs. Vance, the elevator is full. He paused, letting the silence hit her. I'm going down. He hung up, and blocked the number. Life hit fast forward, cleaning up Chloe's mess, handling the PR ripple, and his office romance with Sarah. No grand gestures, no sticky games. Two mature, rational people kept in touch after the noodle lunch. They talked work, industry gossip, high school memories. Sarah's calm, pragmatism, and dry humor were magnetic. Liam found himself looking forward to her texts, their simple meals. This slow burn, built on understanding, felt more solid than any passionate romance of his youth. One afternoon, after a long meeting, Liam rubbed his eyes. A text from Sarah popped up. An image. A screenshot of an internal city clerk memo regarding improving marriage license efficiency and reducing wait times. Sarah wrote, "Smile new directives. Boss wants us to improve one-stop completion rate. High pressure." Liam looked at the screenshot, then her emoji. He smiled. He typed, "Student Sarah, to support your unit's one-stop rate and respond to the call for efficiency, I have a proposal." Sarah, "Mr. Cole has an idea?" Raised eyebrow. Liam stared at the screen, his smile deepening. He took a breath. "Today, 3 p.m., City Hall entrance. Groom provided me. Papers ready. High cooperation. Can Comrade Sarah help complete this case?" Sent. Liam put the phone down, heart beating steadily. Thump, thump. No hesitation. Just certainty. Seconds later, Sarah replied. One word. Approved. Then, office romance, boss approved. 3 p.m. Don't be late. Cool. Liam laughed aloud. He grabbed his keys, walking to the door with a light step. Assistant Claire looked up. "Mr. Cole, 3 p.m. meeting." "Cancel it." Liam didn't stop. "Something more important." Claire watched him go. "More important? Why is he smiling like he just robbed a bank?" In the car, Liam glanced at the documents in the passenger seat. He recalled Sarah's text. He adjusted his collar in the mirror, whispering with satisfaction. "Good. Some people marry then love. We love then marry. Correct order." The 3 p.m. sun poured through the City Hall windows. It was warm. Liam and Sarah sat side by side. Liam in a dark gray suit, Sarah in a white blouse and beige skirt. Simple, but their energy matched perfectly. Nervous? Sarah tilted her head, eyes teasing. She wasn't in uniform today. She was a civilian. Liam raised a brow. "Nervous? You know the process better than me." He waved the file. "Papers ready. Groom ready. Full marks for cooperation. What grade does teacher Sarah give?" Sarah laughed softly. "Approved." Student Liam has high awareness. Their turn. The clerk at the window was a young woman who lit up seeing Sarah. "Sarah, you." She looked between them, realized, and grinned. "Congrats." Sarah nodded, handing over the papers. "Thanks, Emily." Forms, signatures, fingerprints. The red ink on white paper. Thud, thud. 2 fresh marriage certificates were handed out. "Congrats to you both. Happy wedding. 100 years of harmony." "Thanks," they said in unison, taking the red booklets. Outside, the sun was bright. Liam stopped, looking at the certificate, then at Sarah. Her profile was soft in the light, a quiet smile on her lips. A grounded warmth filled his chest, chasing away all old shadows. He took a photo of the 2 certificates side by side, posted to Instagram. Caption, "Paperwork complete. Thanks to the state, thanks to Sarah." At Sarah Zane sent. His phone instantly vibrated like a happy seizure. Liam didn't look. He pocketed the phone and naturally took Sarah's hand. It was warm. "Mrs. Cole." He looked at her tenderly. "Where to celebrate?" Sarah squeezed his hand back firm. "Up to Mr. Cole." They smiled, fingers interlocked, walking into the afternoon sun. Behind them, the doors that witnessed endings and beginnings. The comments section exploded. Amidst the congrats, a new theme emerged. "Congrats, Liam. Successful stop loss. Strong. Holy cow. Smooth move. Congrats on escaping the sea of misery. Textbook stop loss. Congrats. Fist. Beautifully done. Like, stop loss. The keyword. No pity, just admiration for a clean cut and a new start." Liam glanced at the screen, smirked, and held the hand beside him tighter. The past was a closed book. The wedding was a month later. A private estate outside the city. Lawn, sun, flowers. Simple and warm. Liam stood under the arch in a tuxedo. Sarah walked toward him in a satin dress, holding tulips, accompanied by her father. The ceremony was smooth. Reams, quiche, genuine applause. Just as the MC announced the end, a commotion erupted at the entrance. A figure in a dirty white wedding dress stumbled in. It was Chloe. She was gaunt, pale, her dress wrinkled. She looked manic. She screamed, "Liam, I'm the bride." "Me? Who is she? You can't marry her." The guests gasped. The Vance parents, seated in the back, uninvited or sneaking in, turned pale. Liam's smile vanished. He stepped in front of Sarah, shielding her. Security was fast. 2 guards grabbed Chloe. Let go. Liam, look at me. I'm the one you should marry. Chloe struggled, tears streaming, her dress stained with mud. Liam signaled the manager. His voice was calm, but projected clearly. Take the lady to the rest area. Give her water and a program. He paused, looking at the struggling Chloe with total indifference. Let her see clearly. Her name isn't on the cast list. Don't steal the scene. Security dragged her away. Her screams faded. The silence was awkward. Liam turned to the guests, smiling again, relaxed. He took the mic. Small interlude. Apologies. He looked around. Just proves a point. A wedding can change the lead actor. But life? Life doesn't do reruns. Everyone to the banquet hall. Lunch is served. He took Sarah's hand. She was calm, trusting. They walked down the aisle to applause that was louder than before. The farce was just a ripple, instantly swallowed by joy. Chloe's scene was the only glitch. Married life was peaceful. Liam's business grew. Sarah moved to a quieter department. The Vance family fell into the abyss. Julian faced a long sentence. Chloe was hit with a $1. $3 million judgment for the joint debts. The shark circled. Paint on the door. Threats. Linda's hair turned white. Friends vanished. Desperate, Linda emailed Liam's work account. She begged, claiming Chloe was innocent, crying about their misery. She asked for a loan or for him to use connections to stop the collectors. 3 days later, she got a reply from Cole Group Legal Department. To Mrs. Vance, regarding your email, Mr. Cole has instructed us to issue a formal cease and desist attached. Mr. Cole has no legal or financial ties to Ms. Vance. He has no obligation to assist. Any further harassment will be met with immediate legal action, including police reports and lawsuits. The attached letter was stamped by a top law firm. It was a cold, hard wall. Linda collapsed in her chair. The hope was dead. 1 year later, City Hospital, VIP maternity ward. Sunlight and the smell of milk. Liam held a tiny, soft bundle, terrified and awestruck. His daughter was sleeping. Sarah leaned against the headboard, tired but glowing. Relax. She's not made of glass. My daughter is way more expensive than glass, Liam whispered, touching her cheek. A knock. A nurse entered. Mrs. Cole, checkup time. Okay. Sarah moved to get up. Liam quickly put the baby in the crib. Slowly, they walked out. Down the hall, a loud argument broke the peace. No money? Why are you doing checkups? You think the hospital is a charity? Your husband owes us. He ran, you pay. Crying? Useless. Liam frowned. Near the payment window, a woman in a large hospital gown, heavily pregnant, was cornered by 2 thugs in floral shirts. She was shaking, clutching a folder. A nurse tried to intervene. Sir, this is a hospital. So what? Pay debts. The thug pushed the woman. She stumbled, looking up. It was Chloe, even thinner, eyes hollow. Liam and Sarah stopped. Chloe saw them. She broke free and stumbled over, blocking them. Tears streamed down her face. Liam, help me, please. For the past. Lend me 20,000. Just 20. They want to take me. I have a baby. She pointed her belly. The baby is innocent. I'll be your slave to pay you back. The thugs watched, sneering. Liam stopped. He looked at the trembling, ruined woman. He felt nothing. No pity, no hurt. Just indifference. He pulled out his phone. Chloe's eyes lit up with hope. He opened the hospital app, the payment QR code scanner. He turned the screen to her. Voice flat. Scan code. Registration. Bill payment. I can do that. He paused, looking at her belly, then her face. Voice hard. Lend money. Non negociable. He didn't look at her ash-gray face again. He put his arm around Sarah and walked past Chloe toward the exam room. Steady steps. Behind them, Chloe wailed in despair. But the sound couldn't reach Liam's world anymore. He whispered to Sarah, in the dictionary of adulthood, there is no U-turn. Only own your losses. Story complete.